If you had asked me about 4 years ago what Dungeons and Dragons was, I would probably tell you it was the thing in Stranger Things with the wizards and the Mind Flayer and all that. And so that's all I really knew for a while, and I didn't really care to learn much beyond that. That is until I met a couple of my now very good friends about 2 or 3 years ago. And so you might also be asking, what exactly is Dungeons and Dragons? D&D for short is a tabletop role-playing game. To simplify it, you roll dice in certain situations, and the dice will show the outcome. Typically, you'll roll a d20, and a 1 is really bad, while a 20 is really good, with some in between. You also pick a class and race. For example, you could be a half-elf bard using music and instruments to fuel your magic and inspire those around you. Or you can be the dungeon master, creating the story and bouncing off of your players. D&D in recent years has gained a ton of popularity, specifically through shows like Critical Role and Dimension 20. Both shows feature famous voice actors coming together to form epic stories. But how has D&D affected folks who are not well-known voice actors? And how have we woven stories through this game? Let's find out. Through the course of October, I did some traveling, and I went home, and then I visited some friends. Yippee! For context, we've played together in 2 campaigns since 2022. The first one ended December 2023, and our second one started in January of this year.
My name is Kira.
Connor Molino.
I am Ryan LaRoche.
I kind of always knew that I would like Dungeons and Dragons. I had listened to a couple podcasts. I was familiar with how it worked, and it was always something that sounded just right up my alley. But of course, you need people, you need a group, you need time, all that stuff, which I did not have. In my sophomore year of high school, I transferred into a semester-long theater class with our current DM, Ryan, and our theater teacher had him run some stuff as an acting exercise in the beginning of the semester. And I got really into it really quickly. And so eventually he invited me to take the character I had been playing there and bring it in to the campaign he was running, which is where I met all of you guys.
I've been doing this whole shindig for about 4 years, I would say. It was right before junior year of high school, and a lot of my early time was playing, and then eventually, after about a year and a half, I got into running games, where I ran a one-shot and killed all of the players the first time I ever ran the game. And then I stumbled into writing my own world and my own full long-form game that went for about another year and a half.
I set up a D&D club at my high school, and I ran a campaign there based off of Florida, because I'm from Florida, and I thought it was a really good idea. I enjoyed it a lot, but now coming to this campaign, I'm like, oh, I did terribly. But it was fun. It was still fun.
I'm playing Lydia. She is a human blade singer wizard. She is by far the baby of the group. At first, she was very closed off and not interested in forming any kind of connections to the people around her. She was alone in the world and scared and just needed people to be around. But that's definitely shifted.
I play Longinus, now going by Nuno Tinu. He's changed his name because he was an Oath of Devotion paladin. He's a high elf. Originally comes from a 900-year-old elven empire that has long since fallen but is attempting to rebuild itself. He does not like them one bit. Not at all. Playing in this campaign, we went from a really happy-go-lucky person into a very dark, I don't want to say twisted, but definitely emotionally scarred person.
The voices in my head are making me make a third, because I'm insane. But I am currently running 2. I'm running one with the home folks from the hometown that I grew up in, and then some other folks at the college that I'm going to right now. A lot of my character development as a player comes from what I think will be the most interesting to explore in that specific game. When it comes to world development, it's really just following what inspires me, I guess. It's a lot of what media am I consuming lately? What parts do I like and why do I like it? And how can I twist it into my own thing with enough of my own ideas that it still feels like my own product.
Getting into D&D for the first time, this world, meeting these characters, meeting these people, it was a really, really important thing for me. I made the best friends I have with these people. And just the storytelling of it just sparked something inside me again.
This game has really changed my life. It gives me this creative outlet that I really don't have. It really forces me to think in these imaginative and creative experiences that I love to death. It is one of my favorite parts of my life. It's one of my favorite parts about me, that I get to be creative and that I get to show that to other people. It ties me to other people very directly. I love pretty much every aspect about it.
It gave an excuse to stick around with some people for even going into the lovely, lovely college years where everyone is several hours in multiple different directions. Knowing that I'm building these worlds and building these stories, and I don't know, just seeing how they affect people, and seeing the smiles and the tears at the end, and just seeing that like this matters to people, I think is how it's affected me the most and given me direction to keep going.
Hey, you! Yeah, I'm talking to you. Go start playing D&D. I promise, it's worth it. Whether you're a stage actor, an improv comedian, a video gamer, someone who's really into history, there is something for everyone. I promise you won't regret it.
Paths are taken, then only one can be at.
Paths are fucking drop.
I didn't say it was
Cinema. I didn't have to. Cinema.
He's having a boy-kissing conversation with aliens.
Taylor basically walks over and is like, hey, so there's like thoughts that I don't know if I'm supposed to be having and they feel dangerous, and Lodge just goes, are you asking about your parents or your sexuality?
Product. Capitalism.
The eye, he's got this guy lounging us. He's got this guy lounging us. He's a great guy. He's a great guy.
Illegal elves out.
He got the illegal elves down in Verden, those dirty dogs. We gotta get them out of here. I'm literally just a girl.